Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Filip Lauwerysen. I'm the coordinator of the economic department of the Dutch Consulate in Guangzhou. As you may notice, the H2O is an initiative we started last year with the H2O 12, as was mentioned before, with Sun Yat-sen University. And this year we have the pleasure to do it with, together with some Dutch companies, and ICOCOM is the leading co-organizing role in this. So it's an honor to be here today after a year and to see how this cooperation is growing and how the opportunities for cooperation are growing. So let me give you a wrap-up of today's information. We received a lot of information. My brain feels like Google almost. So let me try to give you the main points of today's presentation in the different sessions we had. Let me start with the first session. We've seen how the Division Director of Soil and Ecology Department of Environmental Protection, Mr. Zhang Xianlin, we had the honor of his presence here, and how he emphasized that the government is trying to strengthen research capacity, learning from Dutch practice. He emphasized that the importance of training management staff at municipal level and country level is important in the future plan of soil remediation, referring to the 5-year plan. So positive signs from the central government. So let me go to the next points. We've seen how Mr. Chi from Peking University gave us a nice introduction of how important water is in the forming of China, and how the organization and dealing with water brought people together. I think it's very similar to the Netherlands. You see a lot of resemblance between cultures dealing in deltas worldwide. They're often leaders in organization, punctuality, and commitment. So it was very nice to see a short history regarding this. What I thought was very interesting was the part where you showed the role of legislation, the changes, how the legislation changed throughout history, dealing with empty rivers. You had nice slides of empty rivers, empty lakes, a big challenge. What was also interesting is the way you showed the water market and the water pricing structure and the role of foreign capital in the Chinese water market, especially after China joining the WTO. Another important aspect was you showed how withholding data by some public-owned water monitoring organizations because of hidden economic interests, how this can diffuse the success of projects. So it was good to see a critical view as well. We've had the pleasure of the Vice Director of the Guangdong Water Management Bureau, who explained us the financial structure, and in reaction to the first part, stating that the government invested 6 billion RMB in water management last year. Also an important point. Then we had, during the second session, Dr. Annemieke Marsman gave us a presentation of Deltares, the Independent Knowledge Institute in the Netherlands. And yeah, also later on the PIB, the new management strategy for mega site groundwater contamination they work with. She gave a nice comparison of the Dutch Delta and the Pearl River Delta, the Delta life challenges, the importance to protect groundwater quality and irrigation services. She gave a nice comparison that with Rotterdam Port, how Rotterdam Port was facing similar challenges that Chinese ports are facing now. The role also Deltares played in cleaning up Rotterdam Port. What I think is interesting is the way she showed that the new strategy in Holland is the source part receptor approach, so-called, a cost-effective solution that makes optimal use of biodegradation. It was very new for me. We had the pleasure of Dr. Liu, Director of R&D of Dongjiang Environmental Company, giving a presentation about Shenzhen River sediment remediation project. Very interesting because this river is in the middle of two very important economic centers, Shenzhen and Hong Kong. I thought it was interesting to see how the results of studies of his company showing huge pollution with heavy metals in a city that has very green targets for the coming years. What I thought was also interesting is that his presentation showed also cheap solutions, how solidified sediment can be used in construction material like airports and other big projects. In session 3, we had the pleasure of Martin van der Wijk, Witteveen and Bos, consulting engineers. Gave a nice presentation on lake restoration in an international context. Showed us the expertise they have in delta technology and giving an integrated solution in terms of dredging and water treatment issues. How to store contaminated soils, even in islands offshore. And they have experience, they showcase their experience all over the world, from India to Albania, we have seen. Very interesting to see how they make accurate assessments of what factors affect contamination of water systems. And also, how to create value. This is, I think, the most interesting part of his presentation, is that it's a long-term investment. It was nice to see how developers see the long-term benefits of creating part of your city on clean soil. And we've also later on seen slides how expensive it is when you have already developed a city, and then later on when they find out soil is contaminated, and then you need all kinds of complicated cleaning processes that are much more expensive. In session 3, we've also seen, we had the pleasure of our expert Jan Smolders, gave a very nice presentation. I think a very good comparison of Netherlands versus China, showing how small the Netherlands is compared to China, and also showing how big the challenges are that China is facing. It's true, the Netherlands is very small. For people that don't know Netherlands very well, very small. You've seen a lot of experience in contaminated and soils. Being the second largest agricultural exporter in the world on such a small area shows a lot about our knowledge, how to manage production in a clean way on such a small piece of land. Jan Smolders has showed us what was very interesting is the legislation. The legislation China has for brownfield redevelopment in some cities, and the history of remediation. What was interesting to see is that in the Netherlands, 75% of the costs are covered by market parties. Again, this shows how much value you can create by long-term investing in soil remediation. And only 25% is paid by the government, and we've seen how Mr. Smollers has showed that the government eventually wants to even back away from this, have the soil remediation completely covered by private parties and developers. I think this really shows the potential, the market potential in China as well, if things would change in the direction that the Netherlands has experienced. Mr. Smollers has also showed how here locally in Guangzhou some experiences in brownfield redevelopment projects, and he showed many China remediation cases and Dutch-Chinese collaboration, how it can be complementary, having same geology, suggesting that to do real remediation projects together in China and the Netherlands, not only in China together but also in the Netherlands. I think that's a very interesting point. Afterwards, Mr. Filip Lauwerysen, beautiful name if I may say it, from the company Environram, has already showed some interest in, I heard, in acquiring Dutch technology. I congratulate on that. I hope this will result in some real cooperation. But we had the pleasure to see his slides and his presentation on in situ chemical oxidation projects. I had no idea what it meant, but when I saw the slides I had a better understanding, and it was nice to see how you target environmental solutions. And that what was, I think, most interesting point you mentioned is that in the coming years China will make more and more use of new technology, the newest technology for their remediation projects. What was, I think, also very interesting is the fact that how you explained the role of the local government in project management and the difficulties that this can give to international collaboration projects. But the readiness to collaborate, I think, is very optimistic, good result from today. My impression, what I get is that you can see that the Dutch approach is making use of more than one technology, using different technologies from different companies to make a tailor-made solution based on a local assessment. And that is something that I would like to give you today, this message. In session 3, we have also seen, we had the honor of our representative of the Guangdong Water Authority giving us a brief introduction of an eyesight, a bird's eye view of Guangdong and all the problems that Guangdong government is facing, explaining the current development and utilization of water sources. And what was interesting to see is how the different cities like Macau use water from Zhuhai, and how all these different cities negotiate and try to make use of the scarce water resources, clean water resources. She showed us the impressive example of the Haizhu district in Guangzhou, which I visited myself, and it is very impressive to see. Afterwards, we had the pleasure of Mr. Wang Boqing giving us an introduction of Nanjing Institute of Environmental Sciences and the history already that they have with cooperation with the Netherlands. I think what was very interesting in that presentation is the message that the Netherlands should have a step-by-step approach in projects, and instead of doing a whole-scale project at once. That was a view that I didn't heard before. It was good to see that they also do consultancy services, promoting good technologies, foreign technologies, and I think here is definitely an area for cooperation. And after that, we had the famous Dutch company Damen, the shipbuilding company. Mr. Giesbert Boersma gave us a very nice presentation of the famous vessels that Damen builds. They're not so big, but very specialized. And I think that's the main uniqueness of this company. They have highly specialized, customized production and quick delivery of special vessels. I thought that the vessel, the eco-dredger, was interesting, how you explained that it won't disturb the environment. Perhaps something that the BRD can be of much use, especially in areas like Haichu district. Afterwards, Boscales gave us a nice presentation, a brief overview. Mr. Richard Lang gave us a nice overview how cleaning, they have experience in cleaning contaminated harbors and rivers. 20 years experience in water washing, and a leader in the Netherlands. What was, I think, also a nice slide was that you have the mobile soil washing plant with a container that you can just pick up and like a moving laboratory. And last but not least, the experience with the Fox River cleanup project. I didn't know about this project myself. I thought it was very impressive. Largest project in its field. Afterwards, we had again the pleasure to hear Annemieke Marsman the role of the government in supporting soil remediation projects in an international scale through the PIB, the Joint Approach to Water and Soil. I would really like to ask your attention here, because this platform really offers Chinese companies to work in a consortium. It's a front desk for solutions, more than one solution, multiple solutions for cities, municipalities. So please make use of this. And it's great to see that we had the MOU with Shanghai Linchang as a result and as a first step. And hopefully others will follow as well. So and then last but not least, the Young Professional Award. I think, I hope it's will lead to more cooperation and nice initiative. And I would really thank Mr. Molenaar for being here today. And again, my thanks to ICOCAM for co-organizing this. Let me conclude by inviting you all to the reception afterwards. The Consul-General is hosting. But before that, we have some last remarks of Mr. Molenaar.
Yeah, thank you, Philip, for your excellent preface.